Just a disclaimer. Before I begin, I do want to inform you that I go hard and real with what I am going to tell you on this episode. If you somehow cannot handle the truth, my sense of humor, and my explicit language, then I advise you to skip this episode. So sit back and enjoy. Welcome back to another episode of yours Druelee. It is I, your host, Druelee, of course. How is everyone doing? I hope y'all is doing well. I am doing excelente. Even better, as I mentioned on my mini episode, I've crossed off one of my life goals, which was to obtain my license to be a nail tech. Now that I can focus on expanding my small press-on nail business and working hard on incorporating fitness into my life, I did have to push that aside just because of nail school, so jumping back into working out and living my healthiest life. As I transition out of the life I originally lived, you guys have heard what my life was like before and during divorce. I don't wish anyone to go through what I did, and I hope that for those who went through even worse treatments from close family members to in-laws or whoever you come across, please plan your getaway, draw your boundaries, and get the fuck out. Live in peace and harmony and do what's best for your mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional health. Now that I have been living this single life for 2 years, yes, 2 whole motherfucking years, you may wonder, what did I actually do to be so content in living by myself and be okay to be single? I know that many of you guys struggle to be alone and be in your mind. I get that it can be scary, and trust me, it's okay to live alone and it's okay to be in your thoughts. Society has taught us to go to school, get a high school diploma, go to college, find someone to be in a relationship with, get married, have kids, and you'll live a happy life. But what if I told you that it's okay to not do any of those things? What if you don't go to school? As in, you don't need to go to college, you get a college degree. College isn't for everyone. What if you don't want to be in a relationship and you're okay being by yourself? What if you don't want to get married? What if you don't want any kids? Just because society says that these things are the steps to living life, what society is not telling you is that it's okay to live by yourself without those things. There's many people out there who successfully became millionaires without a college degrees. There are people who are single parent because they choose to be one, and they are okay adopting or having another person donate sperm so they can eventually get pregnant by themselves. It's all okay. You do whatever you want in your life because that is your choice to do so. Society also said that once you go through a breakup, in order for you to forget the person you once was in a relationship with, they tell you to go fuck another person. Have a one-night stand, fuck as many people as you can, have fun, right? But let me tell you something. As for me, I chose not to do that, and it's by choice. Now, have I thought about having a one-night stand? Yes, of course. I mean, who wouldn't desire that? After all, not gonna lie, the last one wasn't all that. I'm just saying. If you know, then you know what I mean. All set aside, I decided that after divorce, instead of jumping into a rebound relationship or a situationship, I've decided to embark in the single life journey where I sought to find who I am as an individual, what I like and dislike, what my values, standards, and morals are when it comes to finding and attracting another person to be in a relationship with. I believe that when you start your healing journey in discovering who you are as a person, your outlook in life, and who you are then and now will be different in a good way. So there are 5 things that I did to become the best version of myself during my self-healing journey, and I'd love to share them with you. It doesn't matter if you're single, married, or in a relationship. Any one of you can do these things because at the end of the day, you are living your life. You choose what is for you and what can enter your life. Just remember, you have a choice to have a positive, loving life. So let me begin by sharing you the first one. And again, things that you can do to become the best version of yourself during your self-healing journey. And the first one would be financially invest in yourself. after I divorced Lost Boy, we did have a house. Well, let me clarify. I had the house. I bought a house under my name. And what I did was I sold the house. After I sold the house, I decided to sell the house, got rid of everything that I didn't need in my life, because I was the type of person where I like to hold on to things because, I don't know, material things have different values. But at that time, I'm just like, you know what? I've gone through so much shit in my life. I just want to get rid of everything. So got rid of everything, kept the things that was most important to me, and I sold my house. After I sold my house, I used that money to pay off my student loans, and I'm so glad that I got that out of the way. So I paid off my student loans. If there's any bills that you have, like little bills or credit card bills that you have, just pay it off. Like, that's what I did. After that, I decided that, you know what? I want to do a lot more in my life. I love editing videos. I love designing. Even though I'm not like the best, but, I'm willing to learn, And so I've decided that, let me just get myself a new iMac. So I bought myself a new iMac. I bought a new phone so that I have a brand new phone number, brand new phone service, everything all brand new. Starting fresh, you know what I'm saying? Starting fresh. So I bought a new phone. I also went shopping for a new wardrobe because during those months that I was single and trying to figure out myself out, I lost a lot of weight. And when you lose a lot of weight, most of your clothes don't fit you anymore. And for me, it was just too loose and it wasn't form-fitting. And I decided that, I need to, start working on myself and start investing in buying new clothes so that I look sexy, So that's what I did. I went out and I bought myself some new clothes, some new shoes. You guys, funny thing is that when you lose weight, like your hands shrink, of course your body shrink, and even your feet shrinks too. Like, I used to be a size 6.5, and now I'm like 5.5 now. And I'm like, I have a hard time finding shoes. But aside from that, I can go more in depth in that on a different episode, but definitely invest in buying new wardrobe as in clothing or shoes. Okay. This is what I call, I also bought myself my very own handbag from Louis Vuitton, and I call this my divorce gift. I gifted myself this just because, for those who knows me, I love Louis Vuitton, even though they're expensive as fuck, but I love me the Speedy Bandolier, and I have the I think it was like the travel design. I don't know what it's called. I'm sorry, you guys, but it's just one of those. It's a Speedy 30 bandolier that you can customize. I guess like traveling stamps on them. I don't know. I'm sorry, you guys, if I'm like butchering it. I'm so sorry, but as of now, I can't remember what it's called, but I got me that big, and that was expensive, but it was worth it. I also got myself the Damir Ibn Speedy Bandolier in size 30 as well, but it was just too big, and so I've decided, you know what, I'm going to gift myself my very own divorce gift, which is the Louis Vuitton Damir Ibn Speedy Bandolier in size 25. And it was worth it, worth every penny. And I love that bag. So yes, if there is something that you wanted to buy for a long time, or let's say if you want to spoil yourself and gift yourself a divorce gift or something like that, go do you, because that's what I did. Because like I said, if your other guy didn't even buy you anything, you might spoil yourself. So that's what I did. So I'm happy with that purchase. And then also what I did was I also invested in getting myself a brand new car. I traded in the car that me and Lost Boy had together. And thank God I had that car, because I was able to trade it in. And I don't know. For some reason, it was very smooth. And because in the past, I've had experience where every time when I go to a car dealership, it always takes forever for some reason. But this time, it only took 4 hours. I went right in, traded in, get all my information, got approved, and got out the door. And so, like I said, If you have the money, or let's say if you're trying to get rid of an old car that you and your ex once have, and you have possession of that car, just take it, sell it, or trade it in, get yourself a brand new car. And with that, also invest in finding your own place. And I get that some people, they want to save money and they want to live closer to family, but I'm telling you guys, the moment when you can afford to live on yourself, please do. Just because it's best just live by yourself. You can be messy whenever you want. You can come and go whenever you want. You can invite whoever to your house. You could be loud. Well, not too loud, but you could be loud enough or do whatever you want in your house. You can even walk naked in your house and nobody's going to say anything, okay? It's best if you just invest in your own apartment. And also, you just have to be financially independent. Like, when I moved out and lived on my own, my parents didn't pay for anything. My mom and dad didn't pay for my car, didn't pay for my cell phone bills, none of that. Not even my apartment. I did this all by myself. And I'm grateful for the job that I have, but I'm just telling you guys, no, just be financially invested in yourself. Do your own thing, get your own thing. Don't worry about anybody else but yourself, okay? But lastly, to financially invest in yourself, save money to travel. Like, when I was in the last relationship, I didn't travel as much as I've always wanted to, but I figured that now that I'm single and, it's just me riding the waves by myself, I should invest in saving money so I can go travel. It's either to travel alone or with friends or family. It doesn't matter, but I definitely want to travel. And so now I'm just going to have to work double the hours, work those overtime, save money, stop buying random shit, and saving and travel on travel expenses. So like I mentioned, with all of that examples, definitely invest in yourself financially. The second one would be work on your purpose and life goals. What's your niche? So when it comes to that, I had to think about what was my purpose in life and what are those goals that I want to achieve. And like I mentioned to you guys, I achieved a lot this year. I never thought that I would do a lot of these things, but like I mentioned to you guys, I don't know what my purpose is in life, but I do kind of have an idea of what the purpose is. Many of you guys have known that I started my own press-on nail business. It hasn't gotten to a point where it's successful. It's because, again, I was still going to school. But now that that's over, I will eventually focus on expanding it and doing a lot more on my business. So that's crossed off my list. However, I also started this podcast as well too. And I kind of figure, like, what's my niche? What will people know me for? And I think I've done a good job of figuring that out. I mean, like, when people meet me or people know me in the past, they know me for the lady that does nails, or I don't know, the lady that has a passion for nails. And I've always had like friends and family that would tell me to, why don't you start your nail business, or why don't you start working in a nail salon? And again, I don't know what I have in store when it comes to getting my license and whatnot, but eventually I'll let you guys know. But I've actually crossed that off of my list of my purpose and my goals. And I do want to incorporate the nail business in my life. So eventually when I have that all figured out, I'll let you guys know. And then another thing would be, of course, this podcast where I am sharing my real life situations and stories that I've been through as a Hmong woman. And not a lot of Hmong women will speak out on their own experience when it comes to childhood traumas, parent traumas, in-law traumas, marriage traumas, being divorced, because majority of these things are taboo topics that none of our families would talk about, especially in the open area, And also families, they don't talk about like some really like embarrassing stuff, such as like sex. Like, they don't talk about these things, how to be in tune with your emotions, on teaching men that it's okay to be in your emotions. Because as for me, I am an open book. I talk about anything because I feel like everything that you talk about is interesting, and I'm intrigued by certain topics, and I'm very open when it comes to talking about these things. And I just felt like, you know what? Maybe this is my niche where, I've been through some shit and I'm not afraid to speak my truth. Some people are not going to like it because they can't handle the truth and they're too afraid to be someone that they're not. And this is me. Like when I want to know the truth, I seek the truth. And I'm not afraid to talk about it because there's nobody else that's going to hold me down. It's not like I'm going to get arrested for speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, I will have to be careful of what I say. But like I mentioned, if you're listening to my episodes or my podcast and you are offended, then that's on you. Like, I'm just all about the truth. I don't hide anything. I'm very transparent. And I just feel like, that's probably my purpose in life is to just speak the truth and share my experience because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people out there that have gone through the same thing as I have. And they didn't know what the fuck to do. And I'm here to share my experience and hopefully the things that I've done in my life as of now will help those who are in the same boat as me. Again, if you're having a hard time finding your purpose in life, then a couple questions that I can ask you is, what's your favorite hobbies? Like, for example, are you into art? Are you into music, cooking? Are you into writing poetry, spoken words? Are you into public speaking? Do you love writing books? Do you love to travel? Do you love to be a social media digital creator? Like, what's your favorite hobby? What do you like to do? What do you enjoy to do besides going to work and being home and not doing anything? I say that turn that hobby into a career or what people will know you as. Because when you have to ask yourself, when people think of you, like for example, for me, like Drew, like what do people think of me as a person? People will think of me as, oh, Drew does nail. Oh, she's a nail lady. Or people will say, oh, she has her own podcast. Like, oh, she's really truthful when it comes to certain topics. Like, you have to ask yourself, when I'm out in the public, what do I want people to think of me as? If you are posting, let's say you post videos of you singing, then people will think of you as, oh, this person loves to sing. Oh, this person is a really good singer. Or if they happen to pass by you, like in the public, they stop by, they'll be like, oh, aren't you that person that sings this song or whatever, right? Just know that if you have a hobby, you also have to put yourself out there and you can eventually turn that hobby into a career and people will know you for that. That is what I will call your niche, okay? Another thing that I will also mention or elaborate more on that is that figuring out what your purpose is in life. So besides like your favorite hobbies and whatnot, do you love to help other people? Do you enjoy seeing people happy? Do you love to volunteer your time to help people who are in need? Do you want to teach people how to do certain things in life? If you have a desire to help people either by listening or by act of service or lending your time to help them in any form of way, that can always be your life purpose. So again, figuring out what's your purpose in life and your life goals and figure out what's your niche. For example, that would be your favorite hobbies, or are you the type of person that likes to help people? And what are those things that you would want to help these people with? Number 3, work on your body. So there's plenty of things that you could do when it comes to your body. The first thing would be working out, going to the gym. You either go to the gym or you can take a walk outside in the park. That's fine as well. Or you can work out at home. That's totally fine as well too. But as for me, like I mentioned, I did kind of stop working out, but I eventually will continue or resume working out just because I do see that it will help me mentally and to help me focus and to be in my best version of my body. I understand that I would never be super skinny, but I know that working out is a way for me to turn it into a lifestyle. Not something that I would do for, let's say, for this year and then stop. No, this will have to be something that will continue throughout my life. So workout and being in the best shape of my life is something that I want to incorporate in my lifestyle. Also, eating healthy. No, like I mentioned, I haven't eaten out as much as I used to before when I was in that relationship. I love to cook. I cook at home. Sometimes I get lazy and I don't want to cook at all. But usually I leave that for the weekend where I order out or I DoorDash, But for the most part, I cook at home because it saves me money and I know what I'm putting in my food. And, it's just a lot healthier. And I have noticed that when I cook more at home, I don't gain any pound as much as eating out. So it does help me. I don't know if it'll help others, but for me, it does help me. So if you're the type of person that enjoys cooking, wants to eat healthy and try not to eat out as much, then cooking at home is another alternative. And also it's a lot healthier as well too. And also just trying to eat more whole food versus processed food. Do your research, figure out what's good for you, what's not good for you, what you enjoy eating, what you don't enjoy eating. And again, try not to eat as much processed and eat a lot more whole food. I've also have worked on a skincare routine as well. I know there's plenty of skincare out there and there's so much products to try. So if you have any products that you recommend for me to try, please let me know. I do have oily combination skin. Majority is just oily skin just because I have big pores and I do have like dry spots here and there, but most of the time it's just oily skin. So for my ladies out there who has some remedies or some skincare routines or skincare products that you use for large pores and oily skin, let me know because your girl would like to try some, okay? But definitely do improve in your skincare routine. The next one would be put on makeup. My workplace, they don't allow makeup, and so I haven't been wearing makeup as much, but I have been wearing mascara. And you guys, like the moment when you start taking like collagen and eating those gummy bears or those gummy vitamins that helps with your hair, skin, and nails, my lashes have been like blossoming very long and luscious. And maybe taking those vitamins and taking those collagen helps with my lashes. But I've been putting some makeup at work and it's been making me feel sexy and beautiful, okay? But aside from that, if you put on a makeup, it makes you feel sexy and beautiful and pretty and it makes you feel good, go ahead and put that on, even if it's just like even if you put a whole lot or you don't, it's fine. As long as it makes you happy, it makes you happy. I've been putting on makeup a lot lately, especially when I'm going out, and sometimes I dread putting on makeup. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I do hate putting on makeup because it takes so much time. Every time when I do put them on, I feel beautiful. I feel sexy and I feel like, damn, like I'm like the sexiest bitch ever. But I tell myself that. Definitely put on makeup if you would like to put makeup on just so that you feel good about yourself. It's not to cover your insecurities, but it's to enhance your beauty and for you to feel good. That's all. The next thing will be to dress sexy. Now, like I mentioned to you guys, I've lost weight and certain clothes, majority of my clothes doesn't fit me anymore, so I had to get rid of them. I had to get rid of all of them and buy new ones. And it is kind of hard to find my size just because, okay, TMI, I have a bigger chest and I have an apple body, okay, where my legs are skinny and my midsection, especially my chest, is a lot bigger than the rest of my body, okay? So it's a lot harder to find clothes. And I'm trying, you guys. But when you start finding clothes that fits your body type and fits your body, you feel a lot more sexy. It doesn't matter what you wear. You can wear a dress, jeans, shorts, whatever floats your boat. Just make sure that it fits your body type. Make sure that it's not too tight, it's not too loose. Make sure that it shows your figure. Make sure that it doesn't show your whole entire cleavage because nobody wants to see that. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of guys out there that want to see that. But you kind of want to save that for your husband, for your future husband, okay? But I'm just saying, dress sexy. If you feel confident, busting your chest or busting your booty, then that's on you. All I gotta say is just dress sexy and classy. How about that? Yes, dress sexy and classy. Don't be dressing all out there, okay? But as long as you find clothes that makes you feel sexy and classy, then you're good to go. And then the last thing for the third point, which is to work in your body, is words of affirmation. Like I said, when you put on your makeup, right? Like every time I put on makeup, I always tell myself, damn, Drew, you are so beautiful. You're so sexy. Yeah, I just tell myself that I'm beautiful, I'm sexy, and I even tell myself, damn, any man will want you. Okay, like I tell myself that all the time. Like even if I don't put makeup on or whatever, like take a look at yourself in the mirror and be in love with your body and just tell yourself that you are beautiful and handsome. When you look at your body, if there are certain things that you don't like about your body, you just have to tell yourself, I like this part of my body because it makes me feel sexy. So you have to affirm yourself that you are a sexy person, that you are that bitch, like you are that good bitch, okay? Not the little bitch, okay? But the good bitch, that you are that bitch, and that, you're beautiful, you're pretty. Anybody will want you. Even you want yourself, okay? So again, you have to affirm yourself with words, positive words, okay? Nothing negative. Positive, loving words, okay? So the next one, that will be the fourth one, which is read books or watch educational videos to enhance your knowledge. So there's a couple of things that I want to mention on that point, which is when I started this healing journey of singleness, I was curious to learn more about the opposite sex. Now, as a woman, I know what I am as a woman, but I also wanted to learn more about how men think and then why they do the things that they do. And so I mentioned it in my previous episode where I follow certain male figures where they give me insights of how a man would think and why they do the things that they do. And I've learned a lot. And I advise for anyone, especially if you're in a relationship, to learn more about the opposite sex. So for example, if you are a woman and you're dating a guy, right? And let's say that you guys are having issues or whatever in your relationship, and you just don't understand why this person isn't opening up, or how come they sit there in silence and they're not responding. My advice is for you to read books and watch videos, because there's plenty of resources online that will give you this information for free. Learn more about why men sit there in silence. How come they don't do certain things? Why are they reacting this way? And understand why they do these things. And again, guys, you also have to learn about the woman's mind and why they do the things that they do as well too. Because I believe that when you do research more about the opposite sex and you learn about why they do those things, it's not to manipulate, it's not to control, it's more of you want to understand them. That way you're able to work on their relationship and be able to figure things out together. That's why I say it's important to learn about the opposite sex. Like before the divorce and everything, I didn't learn anything about the opposite sex. Like it was always about me, my way is the best way or whatever. But I also believe that was also one of the reasons why me and last boy didn't have a good relationship, is because I didn't take the time to understand why he was the way that he was. It was always about, man the fuck up, like if I'm able to do this, you can do this too. But I had to take a step back and reflect and say that, okay, not everyone is like me, and he is the way he is because there's something going on. It's either with his past trauma or himself, or maybe it's a guy thing. Definitely, I highly encourage you guys to take the time to learn about your man, to learn about your woman, or just learn about men in general, learn about a woman's mind in general. That way you can understand your spouse when you guys get into a situation or an argument or an issues that you guys are having a hard time dealing with. When you learn why they are the way they are because they have a man or a woman, then you can say that it kind of lessens the issues a bit, and you can empathize and you can relate, basically. So that's that. Also, I've also taken the time to read books or listen to books, which is listen to books or watch videos about parenting skills and parents' traumas. And it also goes along with childhood traumas as well, too. Now, I can go and seek a therapist for this. However, y'all, therapy is so expensive. Eventually, in the future, I would love to seek out a new one and talk more about my childhood traumas. But again, like I said, I read books about why parents are the way they are, how it affects us as kids, and all the shit that we go through and our own childhood traumas, and how we are the way that we are because of what we went through as a child and what our parents went through with us as well. So just learning about all of these things. And again, you can find free resources online. And because I'm so I don't know, for me, I just want to understand why humans think and do the things that they do, how it affects children's when they grow up, and how that affects parents, and how parents are parenting and their skills as well. And so it all relates for some reason, and right after divorce, I just decided that, I want to go back to knowing how I was as a child, how I grew up, how my parents treated me, how their parents' skills was, and why I was attracting a certain type of guy, why I was attracted to Lost Boy too. And it all makes sense. And again, I'm not going to go into detail as to what I've learned, but it does go in depth as to why I am the way I am. But at the same time, when you learn about these things about yourself and your parents and your childhood, then you get why you are the way you are. However, you want to make changes where you don't repeat those things, and also be aware of those traumas. Again, I will highly recommend for you guys to seek a therapist. That way they can go in depth with you when it comes to your childhood traumas and actually go into deep dive when it comes to that. And if I do happen to do that and I seek a therapist and I go in depth with my childhood traumas, I would definitely want to share that with you guys. But that's something in the future that I will want to do. But if you do have a chance to do that, definitely seek a therapist to talk about your childhood traumas and to talk about your parents as well. I've also read books and watched educational videos on dating and relationships, do's and don'ts. Now, there's so many books out there and there's so many videos out there that is free for you to read and to watch about dating and being in a relationships. And as I continue the single life, I've done all of that because I want to understand and kind of know what's going on when it comes to dating and relationship. Again, I was in a relationship, but you could say it wasn't the best of the best. And now that I know better, I want to know what are some ways that I can improve myself when I'm in a relationship. And also, now that I'm entering the phase of the dating world, I also want to know what are some, good dating tips, what are some bad dating tips, what have people experienced when they are dating other people. Just a lot of variety of things that goes in within dating and relationship. If you are single and you are entering to the dating world like me, please do read and watch videos that pertains to that. That way you know what's going on and what to expect. Again, there's so many people out there that are giving you information, but as long as you're watching something or reading something that you gravitate towards and you understand more of, then go right ahead. But There are some things where some people give you very toxic dating tips, very toxic relationship tips. And you don't want to listen to that. But eventually I will elaborate and do a separate episode on what to look out when it comes to dating and relationships and whatnot. But as a single person. But that's what I did. Like I'm just curious about how the dating world is now, because 10 years ago it wasn't like this at all. It wasn't how dating is now. But I don't know. People say that dating sucks and that they would rather not be dating anyone. But I think overall, when you do your own healing and you work on yourself, then you'll know who to look out for. So aside from reading and watching videos about dating and relationship, I've also looked upon myself. I did a lot of self-reflection on my past relationship, what I did wrong, what I did right. I took accountability and pretty much tried to figure out who I was as a person when it comes to me being in a relationship. If I, in the future, get into another relationship, what would I do differently? What would I done the same and whatnot? So that's why I say that it's important to learn about the dating world, learn about being in the relationship, the do's and don'ts. That way you prepare yourself for the next new relationship. That way you don't repeat the same thing as you did in the past. And like I mentioned, always got to take accountability of your own action. You are not perfect yourself. You have mistakes that you can learn from. But let's say that if you don't do any of those things, then pretty much you're just going to repeat history. You're just going to repeat the same thing as you did when you were in your last relationship. You don't want that, okay? So definitely, I did a lot of self-reflection on myself. I encourage all of you guys to do that. You're not trying to compare, but you have a past relationship. It's because those are lessons that you need to learn. And those lessons are for you to learn so that you don't repeat them again. And also, besides getting more information about relationships and dating, I've also learned a lot about opening business, how to manage a business, how to market, and all that stuff. Just because, like I told you guys, I started my small press-on nail business. I want to enhance my knowledge on how to run a business, what are some things that I need to do in order to be successful in opening a business or running a business, how to manage it, and what can I do to market myself so that customers or clients can eventually know what I am all about when it comes to my business. If you, like, going back to working on your purpose in life goals, like if you happen to want to open your own small business, you have to research about it. You have to research whether or not you need a tax ID? Do you need a license? What are some things that you need in order to open a business? So that's what I did. Like I watched a lot of YouTube videos, especially when you want to create your own website. I mean, you can eventually hire somebody to create or design your website. But as for me, I'm very picky, so I decided to do it myself. But eventually in the future, if I do happen to want to hire somebody, I will definitely do that. But as of now, I'm pretty much designing it myself. YouTube is a good resource for you to find a lot of people that actually talks about opening a business and also creating a website as well. And that's where I get most of my information from. If you are passionate about something and you want to learn more about it, definitely do your research, read tons of books, watch tons of videos, get educated about it, and eventually you will be able to know more about running a business, how to manage, and how to market yourself so that other people know who you are. The last thing will be number 5, which is to spend time with families and friends. Now that I am no longer with the ex, my life is not consumed with his people no more. And so now that I am single and by myself, I've been spending a lot of time with my families and friends, and it's nice to just spend time with them. Sometimes it's not good to just be by yourself, and you need people to surround you. Again, it's important to hang out with your friends, hang out with your family, do anything spontaneous. For me, especially with my friends, I tend to go out with them at night, hang out with them. I mean, you guys don't have to hang out with them during the night, but you can always meet up for breakfast, brunch, lunch or dinner, any time of the day, or just to have a night in. That would be perfect as well too. I've been spending a lot of time with my family. We recently did like a family trip up north, and it was really nice just to spend time with them. Yeah, just do something spontaneous. Like for me, I'm not a type to do anything spontaneous. I like to plan my day accordingly or my week accordingly. But let's say if I'm not doing anything, then yes, of course, I would love to go out and do something, that's not planned. And that was something that I had to step out of my comfort zone. And you guys, it's worth it. And it's actually super fun too when you are just doing something that you've never done before. For sure, definitely spend as much time with families and friends. At least get to know them a little bit more. Have one-on-one with them. Either travel with a couple of them or all of them. Spend time with them. Make new friends as well too. If you go out with them and you happen to meet single friends, either it's guys or girls, just make new friends. Network. Put yourself out there and, like I said, have a good time. Now, I'm sure there are a lot more that you can do to be the best version of yourself as you begin your self-healing journey. If there are any that you have done that I have not mentioned, please comment and share those things anywhere on my social media. I'd love to hear other things that will help me to become a better person. And I know there are others who will appreciate your ideas as well. Thanks so much for sharing in advance. As you continue to work on yourself, you may notice some changes. I began to notice that I am much aware of my emotions, as in how I'm able to control my emotions to where other things that used to bother me didn't trigger me or irk me as much anymore. As I mentioned previously on my episode, I've been on a couple of dates with guys, and I gotta say, my old self wouldn't have done things the way I would have if I did not go through my healing journey. That's why I say it's important to heal first before you deal with another person. Y'all wanna know what happened when I met those guys? Well, you have to find out on the next episode. I'll go in depth of the guys I went on dates with and what went well and what went wrong. You guys don't want to miss the next episode because I have all the tea to spill. Coming from someone who's never dated before, what is dating like after divorce? And is it as bad as the media says it is? Stay tuned on the next episode. Also, don't forget to send me any Dear Sister letters and poem via Google Doc. You can find them posted on my Facebook or Instagram. There should be links for you guys to go and click on. For the Dear Sister letters, you can write any personal questions you want to ask me, any questions about the episode or review of the episode. Any words of encouragement if you need help with your relationships or life situations, or you want to share your life experiences and lessons, please write to me. And if you are a poetic yourself and you would like to share any poems that you've written, please also send that to me as well too. I want to thank you guys so much for always tuning in. That is all that I have for this episode. And again, always support, keep on listening, keep repeating the episodes, share it with your friends and families who are going through the same thing as me or need help with this single self-healing journey. And I hope that all these tips will help you in any shape or form. And as always, I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.